With a flourish, I tied the end of the towel to the stick with a textbook reef knot. I could see that crack would make a good anchor point. Well, that looked really safe. But I had no choice. I hadn't anticipated going mountaineering when I'd come to Syria. I didn't like the idea of putting my hand in there. But hey, what the heck? I was only risking mutilation. No blade took my hand off at the wrist, and no scorpion stung me, for which I was very grateful. But there was something in there. A metal ring, as wide as my hand. I took a firm hold of the ring. I tried not to think of death traps, and pulled. Whoa there! Around the corner, I found the corpse. Oh my God. Klausner? Large as life and twice as dead. I'd hardly had time to accept the fact when I heard the door mechanism start up again. Oh man, no! The door had slammed shut, trapping me. I had a bad feeling about how Klausner had died. I've done more fun things in my life than searching a corpse. But as my life expectancy wasn't great, I figured I should try every new challenge that came my way. I cautiously flicked open the jacket. Hey, what's this? I'd found some kind of lens. A very old lens made from a very hard glass. That settled it. The knight on the manuscript had been holding a lens the whole time, not a crystal ball. I couldn't take the inscription with me. All I could do was stare at it and try to memorize it. In occidenta sita est, in ora mundi. Okay, that would have to do. A stone head bearing 3 bearded faces. It was a strange image, but a powerful one. Redolent with antiquity and ancient mysteries. The mouth's opening. It must be Ultar. My God, if he comes in, we'll both be trapped. Ultar! Don't come in! It's a trap! Stay where you are! You!
Hello, Mr. Stobart. We meet in the most unusual places. Please, do not make any sudden moves. I have no desire to maim you.
Did you say maim?
I did. Dead men tell no tales, as you say. And I want to hear everything that you have to tell me.
And what if I don't want to talk?
Then I shall, most regrettably, have to kill you. Rest assured, however, that I am an excellent shot you would not suffer.
Oh, that's good. Believe me, I'm really assured.
It is rather dark in here. I think we should conduct our business outside.
Why should I make myself an easier target?
If I fire at you, Mr. Stobart, I shall hit you even in here. But, unfortunately, my marksmanship will suffer. It could be the difference between hitting you in the leg or the groin.
Boy, it sure is hot in here.
No sudden moves, Mr. Stobart. Now then, where shall we start?
How about being bosom buddies and you putting that gun away?
Klausner, do you know where he is?
Yep, he's dead. Just around the corner of the cave. You want to look?
I'll take your word for it. How did he die?
Starvation or dehydration by the look of it.
He was caught in this trap you were shouting about. Yes, I suspected as much. The Templars were not ones to give away their secrets lightly. Was he carrying anything of importance?
No, nothing.
So, why is this location important? What did the Templars hide here if not an artifact?
Well, there is something, I guess, but you can't move it.
Yes? What is it?
It's a treasure map. X marks the spot.
Come now, do you expect me to believe that?
Yeah, okay. You caught me. But round the corner, there is something in Latin up on the wall.
Latin? Do you remember it, Mr. Stobart?
In accidenta cita est, in ora mundi.
Ah, the words of Caesar. Yes, that makes sense.
Well, I know that roughly it means to the west, to the edge of the world. But what the heck is that about?
It tells me where the sword of Baphomet lies. Mr. Stobart, I am sure that you are just what you appear to be. A gifted amateur.
Thanks, I think.
But I can no longer tolerate your interference. There is far more at stake than you realize.
So what are you gonna do?
I regret that we must end this here and now. Your only choice now is whether you die like a man or like a dog.
Okay, you're the boss. I'll take my medicine.
You are an honorable man, Mr. Stobart, a rare breed. I should like to shake your hand.
Yeah. Well, what the heck? Luckily, the canopy on Ultar's truck broke my fall.
Thank goodness for that.
The worst part of the experience was Ultar's driving.
What about the lens? Is it still in one piece?
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's good to see you again, Josh.
Really? Well, I have to say, I'd have enjoyed Syria a lot more if you'd been there.
I wouldn't have been much help. Anyway, you did just fine on your own.
I'd better get back to the quest. Excuse me, Father.
Pardon?
Do you mind if I ask you a few questions?
Not at all, monsieur. It will be my pleasure to help you.
How long have you worked here?
Hardly work, monsieur. This is a calling. I have been helping Father Flambert for nearly 6 months now.
I guess you don't know much about the history of this church, then.
Just a little.
You've got quite a shine on that candlestick.
Ah, oui. Anything less than best would be an insult to the Almighty.
I guess so. I never thought of it like that. What do you know about the Knights Templar?
You have come to the right place, if that is your interest. Many of them were executed in the square outside. It was a disgrace to France.
Well, the Pope was right behind it, though.
Clement V was a man of mammon, not of God.
That's kind of forthright for a priest, isn't it?
You think so? It is hard to be sure what happened. It is so long ago.
I noticed that the stained glass window on the left looks more modern than the middle one.
You have a keen eye, monsieur. The original window was destroyed in the last war. It was as old as the church, early 14th century.
Oh, man, that's awful.
Oui, a terrible loss. Still, the church and the other windows survived.
What do you make of this chalice?
It certainly looks very old.
About as old as this church, I think.
There seems to be an engraving on it.
Yeah? What does it say?
I do not know. It is very tarnished. With your permission, I could try polishing it. I promise I will be very careful.
That'd be very good of you.
This shouldn't take very long. Feel free to look around.
Okay, thanks. A scroll was a symbol of scholarship. I knew that much. A scholarly knight. That rang a bell. A very Spanish bell. The lens fitted into the end of the scroll like a hand into a glove. Per disciplinum meum lux videbus. Hey! The distortions came sharply in the book. It was a Knight Templar, burning at the stake. And below him a date in Roman numerals. A Knight Templar burning at the stake. And a date. Let me see. MCCCXIV. That's 1314. Hey, thanks.
It is my pleasure, monsieur.
What was the writing on the chalice?
It was not writing, my mistake. It was a coat of arms. The remarkable thing is that it seems very familiar.
Yeah?
Oui, I think I have seen it on that wall tomb in the far corner. That winged horse is quite distinctive.
Do you speak Latin?
You ask this of a priest?
Okay. Can you tell me what per disciplinum meum lux videbus means?
Let me see. That would be, by my teachings, you will see the light. I think.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. Catch you later.
Au revoir, monsieur.
Now that my attention had been drawn to it, there was no mistake. There was no name on it. But the coat of arms was undeniably the Pegasus of the De Vasconcelos family. I'd found the last resting place of Don Carlos. My eye was drawn to the biblical references carved into the edge of the tomb. Hey, maybe these biblical references mean something. Psalms 32:7. The numbers referred to a chapter and a verse in the Bible. Not much to go on, but it must have meant something. If I examined the tomb more closely, there might be other clues to find. Corinthians 14:5. John 4:11. Psalms 22:21. There were no more references to find, but a series of Roman numerals ran around the plaque. I made a note in case they meant something. Psalms 32:7, John 4:11, Corinthians 1:4-5, and just one more, Psalms 22:21. I may not be perfect, but I've got a memory like a steel trap. The chalice had led me to these inscriptions, but it looked like a happy coincidence to me. After all, the De Vasconcellos arms were already on the manuscript. Nope, I was still convinced that the chalice had some significance all of its own. Hi, Andre.
Hello, Georgie.
While I was in Syria, I discovered a strange pagan statue. It was like a head with 3 bearded faces. Horrible.
That sounds as if it could be Baphomet, the idol described by the Templars.
The poor Knights of Christ had an idol that looked like that?
Allegedly. The description of the idol came from the evidence extracted by the Inquisition. Mind you, not one statue or idol was ever found on Templar property. Until now, that is. Just last month, a statue of Baphomet was unearthed right here in Paris.
Where?
At the Institut Hermétique de Nerval. The statue is beneath the foundations. It was discovered by some workmen while renovating the building.
Can you tell me any more about the statue of Baphomet?
It's a fearful image, even now. A bearded head. The base of the statue is carved with Templar symbols. One of the workmen noticed a curious stain at the base. He claimed it looked like blood.
Blood?
That's right.
Thanks for your help, Andre.
You're welcome.
Excuse me, could you help me?
What is it?
I've got a few questions. You're doing a fine job.
Merci. I have my professional pride.
I don't think I've ever seen a Gauloise smoke so stylishly.
It's a natural talent.
I'm being sarcastic.
I'm being indifferent.
You're very good at that as well.
Merci. Vive l'indifférence.
So, what are you doing here?
I am having my break.
Yeah, I mean when you finish your break.
When I finish my break, An interesting concept, monsieur.
You'll probably need to think about it.
I could have another cigarette while I consider. Perhaps tomorrow too.
Okay, let me put things differently. What were you hired to do here?
I was hired to keep the archaeological dig in the basement of this building clear of debris, and to touch up damage to the door frames with my little pot of paint. It's a very responsible job. Unfortunately, I'm not a very responsible person.
So what do you know about the excavation?
I know they won't let me in to do my job. I would complain to my union, but là...
You couldn't be bothered to join.
Right. Tell you what, though, I'm surprised at the sort of people interested in this excavation.
What's unusual about the visitors to the excavation?
None of them look like archaeologists to me.
Do you know what an archaeologist looks like?
Three-piece suits, crocodile-eyed attaché cases, Rolex oyster.
But no archaeologist dresses like that.
Quite right, monsieur, quite right.
So, who are they?
Who cares as long as they pay me?
What does the word Templar suggest to you?
Templar?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Be seeing you.
Au revoir, monsieur.
Hi? Excuse me?
Oui?
So, what exactly are you doing here?
I'm guarding. You expect to find me shearing sheep?
Take it easy. I just didn't realize you were a guard. I'd like to know what you're guarding, please.
That's a secret.
It wouldn't happen to be an archaeological site, would it?
Are you asking me or telling me?
I'm telling you.
Then why ask?
I had a feeling this was no normal hole in the ground. What do you know about the Knights Templar? There was a long pause during which the guard said nothing. Then he said,
Nothing.
Nothing at all?
Is this a test?
What, like a history pop test?
No, like a test.
Okay, yes, it's a test.
Then I know absolutely nothing about the Templars.
The guard was being amazingly evasive. It was going to take more than goodwill to get past him. Talk to you later.
Au revoir, monsieur.